George Foreman, like you said, came back the second time. You don't want to know what that did for me? That made me realize that, Coach, right now, if I wanted to come back and I wanted to face Ryan Garcia, I got that opportunity to do that.
What?
George Foreman showed us that I can come back and not provide him. That age don't even matter. Because if you got this and you still got a little bit of the boxing skills and athleticism and the physical presence as well, that I can come back if I wanted to.
You are so weird. You say the weirdest things, man.
Forget about Ryan Garcia being suspended. Forget about the steroid stuff, all that. Just on a strictly boxing conversation. Tim Bradley believes because George Foreman came back, 10 years, fought his way for probably another 4 or 5 years to a title shot, eventually got another title shot, and wound up winning the heavyweight championship. That was one of the most remarkable things I've ever seen in my life. Here's what the problem is, Tim. George had the biggest mistake eraser you could have in boxing. He was the hardest hitting heavyweight ever. Only person you probably could compare to him is Ernie Shavers. Even Mike Tyson said he believes Foreman hits harder.
How did you explode like that?
That's how it works out in the sweat.
He used to break the guy.
Yeah.
He used to knock him down.
Yeah, heavy puncher.
The heaviest?
Yeah.
See, I thought.
Incredible power. That's something you don't have. Now, I will say this. Tim Bradley had all the heart in the world as a boxer. I mean, incredible heart. Good chin. Was athletic. Didn't have any power, though. Just did not have any power. And ultimately, he started slowing down a little bit and became more hittable. Decent defense, head movement, footwork. But what would get him in trouble then and now and would ultimately get him knocked out quickly against Ryan Garcia. Once Ryan put hands on him, Tim would decide to allow it to turn into a slugfest. And that would be what would get Tim in trouble. It was a lot of fights Tim could have had in the Rosner Povetnikov fight was probably the one that illustrated it the most. But a lot of times when he could have probably just strictly outboxed somebody, he turned it or allowed it to get turned into a slugfest because he got hit and would just and look, it's ironic. Bud Crawford, good friend Bud Crawford, does that sometime as well. Well, he'll allow a fight to turn into a slugfest, which he normally wins anyway, but when he could have easily outboxed his opponent. Tim Bradley was good for that. And because he didn't have any power, that would be like somebody with the 22 fighting somebody with a 38 or a 9mm, or somebody with a 38 fighting somebody with a 45 or 44. You're being outgunned. But because of his incredible heart, good chin, will to win, he would get past it. I could not see that happening at 40, whatever he is, 42, something like that, against a young Ryan Garcia who's so. And this is the real problem. Ryan's height, Ryan's arm length, and Ryan's speed. Tim Bradley is only like 5'5", 5'6" max. Ron would have him at the end of his jab and left hook, and it would be ugly. I don't think it would even go 3 rounds. And to be honest with you, even in Tim Bradley's prime, and I don't even think Ron is the most talented fighter, but he is. He's athletic, and he has extremely quick hands, especially that left hook. Once he get the whip in that left hook, once he get Tim's timing down, and Ryan normally starts out pretty good early. Once he gets that timing down, Tim will be in trouble. And that's just how I see it. I believe he will be able to catch Tim with that left hook early And unless he like really hurt Tim, he's gonna try to fight back and trade like an idiot, because once again 38 versus a 45, something like that. He's gonna try to trade with him. He'll be outgunned, and eventually he'll get knocked out. That big head just too easy to hit, especially when you're not trying to be defensive. And even if he got on his toes and start moving around, I think eventually Ryan would catch him, and it'll be night. To me, that's a matchup nightmare, just off of the stature of both fighters, the arm length, etc. To me, that's a poor matchup. But hey man, you can think whatever you want to, and not even against Tim Bradley. If he was against Ryan, if he was to come back today against Boot Cenas, if you're talking 147, he would get washed. Standing on this, I believe, would beat him. Heck, probably even Mario Barrios. I think all of those guys would beat him. I don't see any path where he could start his career back over like Foreman did and possibly work his way to a title. That ain't what he was talking. He said he could come back and fight Ryan Garcia, but I'm talking more on the path of what he said about Foreman coming back and actually, because Foreman didn't just come back and fight one time. He had a whole nother career. He built himself back up. I still couldn't see Timothy Bradley, not with his skill set, not with what he brings to the table. Like I said, Foreman had that eraser, that one hitter quitter, that thing that they say you lose last. Something we see Mike Tyson still with, and that's the reason why I believe he's going to beat Jake Paul. But that's a whole nother video. Something you never lose, or if you do lose it, you lose it last. Tim Bradley's biggest asset was his speed and his heart. I believe he still got the heart, but I believe that speed is gone. So I think he'll get laid out. And that's pretty much all I got to tell Buster Boxing on Fight Doctor. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Hit me up in the comment section, let me know what you think. Could Tim Bradley make a comeback and fight Ryan Garcia? And how would that turn out? Or, like I said, because that ain't really what he said. He really compared himself to Foreman. Well, he said both. He compared himself to Foreman. Could he do what Foreman did? Build himself up. Take small fights, journeyman, nobodies, club fighters, build yourself back up and possibly have a second career and eventually get a title shot. Could he do that? I don't even think he can do that, but that's my opinion. Give me yours. It's here at Bustin' Boxes on Fight Doctor. I am out.